Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Today we are going to recap everything from college basketball and NHL yesterday and look ahead to everything going on tonight in each sport. News and notes and best bets. So a very short podcast for today. College basketball is where we'll begin. We'll go over the results from last night and we will look ahead to the games for tonight. Colgate over American 63-49. Colgate is 18-11, American 8-20. Jack Ferguson had 15. Stacy Beckton Jr. 16. Number 22, Ohio State over Indiana, 80-69 overtime. Ohio State is 17-7. Indiana is 16-10. Malachi Branham, 27 points, and Xavier Johnson at 16. Liberty over Central Arkansas, 85-66. Liberty 29, Central Arkansas 9-18. Darius McGee, 34. Colin Cooper, 17. Lafayette over Holy Cross, 84-61. Lafayette 10-17. Holy Cross 9-19. Yale Quinn had 20 with 6 assists. And Gerald Gates had 18. Middle Tennessee over UTEP 77-59. Middle 20-7. UTEP 16-11. Donovan Sims had 17. And Sully Baum had 24-9 boards. Syracuse over Georgia Tech 74-73. In overtime, Syracuse 15-12. Georgia Tech 11-16. Jimmy Boeheim had 20 points, and Rodney Howard had 19. BC over Florida State, 71-55. BC 10-16. Florida State 14-13. Jane Zachary had 18, and Matthew Cleveland had 18 with 8 boards. Coppin State over Howard, 86-82. Coppin 6-20. Howard 14-11. Mike Cood had 28 points, and Kyle Foster had 27. North Carolina over Louisville, 70-63. UNC 20-8. Louisville 12-15. Brady Manick had 17 for UNC, and Jalen Withers had 10 with 7 boards for Louisville. Maryland over Penn State, 67-61. Maryland 13-14. Penn State 11-13. Fats Russell had 18 for Maryland, and Sam Sessions had 17 for Penn. Morgan State over Norfolk State, 85-74. Morgan 9-13. Norfolk 18-6. Lagio Griston had 17 with 9 boards for Morgan, and Joe Bryant Jr. had 20 for Norfolk. Alabama A&M over Florida A&M 71-63. Bama A&M 9-16. Florida A&M 11-15. Cameron Tucker had 18 with 1 assist, and MJ Randolph had 20 with 2 assists. Maryland Eastern over NC Central 79-66. UMass 9-13, NC Central 14-12. Chase Davis had 22 points, and Chris Monroe had 23. SC State over Delaware State 79-74. SC State 15-12. Delaware State 2-22. Rashawn Edwards had 21 points, and Miles Carter had 27. TCU over West Virginia 7-7-6. TCU 17-8. West Virginia 14-13. Emmanuel Miller had 18 points and 8 boards, and Taz Sherman had 23. Marshall over Southern Miss 74-60. Marshall 11-17. USM 6-21. Andrew Taylor had 17 for Marshall with 5 boards and 4 assists, and Isaiah Moore had 19 for Southern Miss. Sanford over the Citadel 76-74. Sanford 19-9. Citadel 11-16. Quez Glover had 26 points and 5 assists, and Tyler Maffei had 18 with 4 assists. SU Edwards over Eastern Illinois 66-52. SU Edwardsville 10-19. Eastern Illinois 5-24. Shamar Wright had 13 points and 3 assists, and Dan Lewers had 21. Northern Colorado over Idaho State 77-70. UNCO 16-12. Idaho State 6-20. Bodie Hume had 20 and 2 assists, and Jared Rodriguez had 27 and 5 boards. Drake over Indiana State 74-58. Drake 20-9. Indiana State 11-17. Roman Penn had 15 and 5 assists, and Cam Henry had 17. Loyola Chicago over Illinois State 59-50. Loyola 21-6. Illinois State 11-18. Aher Ugok had 17, and Antonio Reeves had 15. Southern Utah over Northern Arizona 79-48. SUU 17-9, and Northern Arizona 9-18. Mason Fawcett had 12, and Carson Tout had 11 with 6 assists. Valpo over Evansville, 74-69. Valpo 13-15. Evansville 6-21. Kevion Taylor had 23 points and 3 assists, and Blake Seisley had 18. Texas Southern over Arkansas, Pine Bluff 70-68. Texas Southern 13-11. Pine Bluff 6-22. Bryson Gresham had 13, and Sean Williams had 29. Prairie View over Miss Valley State 69-64. Prairie View 8-15. Valley State 2-23. Number 10 Baylor for Oklahoma State 66-64. In overtime, Baylor 23-5. Oklahoma State 13-14. Adam Flagger had 29 points, and Bryce Thompson had 15. Number 12 UCLA over Arizona State 66-52. UCLA 20-5. And Zona State 10-16. Jalen Clark had 16, and Marion Jackson had only 9 to lead Zona State. Alabama State over Bethune-Cookman, 89-78. Al State 7-20, Bethune-Cookman 7-20. Kenny Strawbridge had 28 points and 6 assists, and Joe French had 25. San Francisco over Pacific 104-71. San Fran 22-7. Pacific 8-19. Khalil Shabazz had 21. And Jeremiah Bailey had 20. And New Mexico State over Seattle 68-55. New Mexico State 23-4. Seattle 21-7. Teddy Allen had 19 points and 5 assists. And Darion Trammell had 24 with 3 assists. All right, now we look ahead to today's games. 1 o'clock, you have St. Thomas and North Dakota. Matinee Sun Belt game. My lines are North Dakota 3 3/4, total 149.1. Meanwhile, St. Thomas 1.5, total 149.5. Money line, by the way, is 110 each. Giving North Dakota plus 1.5 and minus 110 straight up. 6 o'clock, Yale Dart with my projections. Yale 11, total 138.8. And it's 3 and 134.5. I'm laying 3 at Yale. Tennessee, Missouri. On SEC Network, number 17, Tennessee and Missouri. My projection is Tennessee 17.5, total 135.4, and it is 10.5 and 130. And we'll lay the points. Number 18, Arkansas at Florida on ESPN2. My projection is Arkansas by 4, total 139.05, and we got 1.5 and 136.5. I'll take the over. Michigan State at number 25, Iowa on ESPN. My projection is Michigan State by 2, total 147.2. Meanwhile, it is Iowa 6.5, total 153.5. Give me Sparty plus 6.5 and plus 215 straight up. I really, really like Tom Izzo's team here. Charleston Northeastern. My projection is Northeastern 2 2/4, total 144.05. Meanwhile, we got Charleston 1.5, total 144.5. I'm taking Northeastern plus 1.5 and even money. Straight up. Siena and Monmouth. My projection is Monmouth by 13.5, total 136.35. And we don't have any lines up yet for this game. Rhode Island, St. Bonaventure on CBS Sports Network. My projection is Bonaventure by 16.5, total 135.55. And we got 8.5 and 133. I'll lay the points with Bonaventure. Richmond and George Washington. My projection is Richmond 17.5, total 137.3. And we got 7 and 142.5. I'll lay the 7 with Richmond. Northern Illinois and Eastern Michigan. My projection is Eastern by 4 1/4, total 141.45. And it's 3.5 and 138.5. Over. Ball State and Kent State. My projection is Kent by 13 1/4, total 143.35. And it's 8.5 and 143.5. I'll lay the points. Bowling Green and Akron. My projection's Akron 11.5, total 146.65. And 7.5 and 147.5. I'll lay the 7.5 with Akron. Buffalo and Miami of Ohio. My projection is Buffalo by 8.25, total 151-15. And we got 5.5 and 155.5. Let's go with the under. Toledo and Western Michigan. My projection is Toledo by 19.5, total 145.75. And we got 12.5 and 145.5. I'll lay the points at Toledo. Central Michigan and Ohio. My projection is Ohio by 27.5, total 142.8. And we got 17.5 and 143.5. I'll lay the points at Ohio. ESPNU, Georgia, Texas A&M. My projection is A&M 17, total 142.9, and it's 12 and 145. I'll lay the 12 with Texas A&M. 8 o'clock, Fox Sports 1. Number 8, Villanova at number 21, UConn. Probably the game of the night. My projection is Villanova by a quarter, total 139.2, and we got UConn by 2, total 136. I'm going to go with the over. And I do like Villanova to win, too. But we're going over for the podcast. Oklahoma, number 9, Texas Tech. My projection is Tech by 11.5, total 134.55. And we got 10 and 131. Over. Miami Pitt on ACC Network. My projection is Miami 10.5, total 137.25. And it's 4 and 136. I'm going to lay the 4 with Miami. St. Joe's and St. Louis. My projection is St. Louis by 21, total 142.8. And it's 11.5 and 143.5. I'll lay the 11.5 with St. Joe's. Nebraska Northwestern on the Big Ten Network. My projection is Northwestern 7.5, total 147.1. And it's 11 and 148.5. I'm going to take Nebraska getting the 11. 9 o'clock, ESPN, Kansas State, number 5, Kansas. My projections, Kansas is 20, total 140.1. And we got 11.5 and 142.5. Laying the points. Number 24, Alabama at Vandy on the SEC Network. My projection is Bama 14, total 146.2. And it's 4 and 151.5. I'm going to lay the 4 with Alabama. Fresno Air Force. My projection is Fresno 11.25, total 144.2. And we got 7 and 117. Over. San Diego State, Boise State on CBS Sports Network. My projection is San Diego State by a quarter, total 145.2. And we got Boise by 2, total 119.5. Podcast play will be the over, but I also like the dog in San Diego State. 10 o'clock. Bakersfield, Poli. My projection is Bakersfield by 5, total 130.05. And we got 1 and 125.5. Over. New Mexico and Utah State. My projection is Utah State by 13.5, total 147.15. And we got 12 and 149.5. Under. And last but not least, CBS Sports Network at 11 o'clock, UNLV, Nevada. My projection is Nevada by 7, total 141.5. And it's 2 and 145. I'm going to go lay the 2 with Nevada against UNLV. This, I think, could be Vegas knows, but me being on the right side here. All right, now we'll move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from last night, and we will look ahead to the games going on today. Bruins over the Avs 5-1. The Bruins are 29-17-4. Colorado is 36-10-4. Number 3 started 3 assists. Taylor Hall. Number 2 started the game with a goal and assist. Patrice Bergeron. Number 1 started the game with 2 goals and an assist. David Pastrnak. Hurricanes over the Flyers 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Brett Pesky. Carolina 35-11-4. Philly 15-25-10. Number 3 started game with the goal, Patrick Brown. Number 2 started game with the goal and assist, Vincent Trocheck. And number 1 started game with the overtime winner, Brett Pesky. Flames over the Jets 3-1. The Flames 13-6. Winnipeg 22-28. Number 3 started game with an assist, Andrew Maganape. The number 2 started game with the goal, Sean Monahan. Number 1 started game with the goal, Elias Lindholm. Canadians over the Maple Leafs, 5-2. Wow. Montreal 11-33-7. Toronto 32-14-3. So the Maple Leafs lose the playoff rematch. The number 3 started the game with 2 assists. Brendan Gallagher. Number 2 started the game with 2 goals and an assist. Josh Anderson. Number 1 started the game with a goal and 2 assists. Cole Caulfield. Canucks over the Kraken 5-2. The Canucks 24-22-6. Seattle 16-32-4. Number 3 started the game with 2 assists. Elias Pettersson. Number 2 started the game with 2 assists. Juho Lammikko. And the number 1 started the game with a goal and assist. Tyler Mott. Now we look ahead to the games for tonight. Actually, no, not a big window. Only 6 games. Usually Tuesdays are busier than this. 7 o'clock, you have the Preds and the Panthers from Florida. The Panthers minus 220, Preds plus 180, over under 6.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 138. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going to go with the under here at even money. I think that's a good value play. I could see Juuse Saros playing well here. Maple Leafs, Blue Jackets. Toronto minus 220. Columbus plus 180. Over under 7. Overs plus 126. Unders minus 154. Toronto minus 1.5 is plus 104. Blue Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 128. In theory, you would think that this is a bounce back spot for Toronto, but it's a second of a back-to-back. You just never know these kinds of things. But I'm going to go with it anyway. Minus 1.5 at plus 104. I hate the pick, but I have to do it. Wild Senators. Wild minus 230. Ottawa plus 188. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Minnesota minus 1.5 is plus 110. Ottawa plus 1.5 is minus 134. I'm going to go with the under here to juice number at minus 118. Blues Flyers. The Blues are minus 230. The Flyers plus 188. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 110. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 134. I like the over at even money. I think there's going to be more goals in this game than you'd think. Next up, you have the Sharks and the Ducks at 10 o'clock. I got on FanDuel here, Ducks minus 152, Sharks plus 126, over under 6, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 210, Ducks minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going to go with I'll go with the over. Why not? Just doing a Hail Mary here of a pick because I don't know where to go. Islanders, Kraken. Isles minus 150, Kraken plus 126, over under 5.5, overs plus 114, unders minus 140. Isles minus 1.5 is plus 186, Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 235. I'm going with the over. This could be a 3-2 game. Islanders shooting the empty net, and this goes over. So going over 5.5 at plus 114. All right, now I'm going to do news and notes for today. The big story of yesterday is that the punishments have been handed out in the big brawl from Sunday between Michigan and Wisconsin, as Michigan suspends Juwan Howard for the rest of the regular season following the scrum with Wisconsin. I think that suspension is deserved. I wonder how this will affect both teams in the long run here as we head into March Madness in a few weeks. So we're going to see how that plays out. And Howard also gets a $40,000 fine. Guard gets a $10,000 fine. And 3 players get 1-game suspensions. So I really think that Howard got the punishment that he deserved. I think Guard should have been fined a little bit more money, but he was only fined $10,000 because everyone focuses on the punch. But Guard, I think, is responsible of this as well. the new AP poll is out in college hoops. We have an interesting new look top 10. And it goes as follows: Gonzaga, Arizona, Auburn, Purdue, Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, Villanova, Texas Tech, Baylor. 11 through 15. Providence, UCLA, Wisconsin, Houston, Illinois. 16 through 20. USC, Tennessee, Arkansas, Murray State, Texas. And then 21 through 25. UConn, Ohio State, St. Mary's, Alabama, Iowa. St. Mary's better start winning some games here. I know they were out of the rankings last week because they had a couple of losses, but the voters, I think, need to stop giving them so much favoritism when it comes to the poll, because they've been losing to some inferior teams in their conference and wasn't competitive with Gonzaga. So they better play up to that number down the stretch here. Interesting news. Ben Simmons' debut is getting close as they're really ramping it up post All-Star break, and debut will be weeks rather than months, so that's good. So I'm going to say he plays his first game as a Brooklyn Net in less than a month from today. And today's the 22nd, right? Yeah, so maybe the first week of the NCAA tournament, you'll see Ben Simmons on the court for the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets signed Goran Dragic after reaching the buyout agreement with the Spurs. That is a fabulous pickup for Brooklyn. A good shooter. They needed some shooting after trading away James Harden, so love it. Aaron Rodgers posted an emotional Instagram post thanking those close to him, including his girlfriend/fiance, Shailene Woodley. So I guess they're still together. There are rumors that they broke up, so I guess that's good that him and his fiance are still together. The former Secret Life of the American Teenager star, Shailene Woodley. And then a couple of his teammates, his quarterbacks, including Jordan Love. So that's interesting. So I guess, I don't know. Let me just make sure it's still up, because I wonder if he's thinking about retirement. Yeah. I just hope Aaron Rodgers is, mentally okay. The Kentucky Derby winner from a year ago, Medina Spirit, loses its title after failing a drug test last year and died unexpectedly in December. And on top of that, his trainer, Bob Baffert, got a 90-day suspension. So you got to wonder if he's back for the Kentucky Derby or not. Yeah, so he's suspended 90 days. So we'll see if he's back for that race or not. It's got to be close. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be back for the Kentucky Derby, which is crazy. And next time we have Jeff Burns on the podcast, we certainly have to talk about that. The U.S. women's national team settled equal pay lawsuit as players to get $22 million compensation after agreement with U.S. Soccer for equal men's and women's paying moving forward. So, obviously, the Major League Baseball and the Players Association does not have a deal yet, as there's no agreement for revised CBT proposal and still very large gap in pre-arbitration bonus pool. So we'll see if they beat the deadline or not. I'm going to say no. And if you ask me, today on February 22nd, when does Major League Baseball start? I'm going to say they'll begin on Memorial Day. I just think that kind of fits, and it's a holiday, a lot of games on TV that day. So I'm going to say that Memorial Day is when baseball starts. And then if it starts before then, I'm going to say I'd be somewhat surprised. But if there are games like spring training-ish games before Memorial Day, that wouldn't surprise me. The NFL Combine is unbubbled as the league announces changes to its COVID-19 protocols for the scouting combine. So that's what everybody wanted. So that's good. The NFL is partnering with the XFL as the XFL agrees to give the NFL a petri dish to experiment with proposed rules and develop officials and more. So that's cool. And Mario Cristobal, there's rumors that he is a threat to Nick Saban. As a national analyst, says anyone who thinks Cristobal is not a recruiting threat to Nick Saban is quite ignorant. That's wild. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. There is one that jumped right out to me today in college hoops that had me said, yeah, that's it. That's best bet today. Yesterday was obviously a loser. I took on MEAC school and lost. And that's not cool. So today I'm going to take a team that I don't think I've taken much this year, but I know I bet against this team on best bet last week, and that's Iowa. So I'm going to take go against Iowa again and go with Sparty plus the 6.5 against Iowa. I'm going to lay a unit on it. I think Sparty can win this game outright, so give me Michigan State plus 6.5 against Iowa. All right, so there you have it for today's podcast. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from college basketball and hockey and looking ahead to tomorrow's games in each sport. News and notes. Maybe I'll do my NFL mock draft, my first one of the year tomorrow, with the draft being about 2 months away. And obviously, best bet and any other news and notes that happens in the world of sports and pop culture. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.